So now on the second part of our Entrepreneurs Day, we are having two speakers, one Mr. Varun and Dr. Nallappa. Let me start with Varun. Varun has been, great inspiring young gentleman in our sector. I would say generation next or generation future. So he's heading as a CEO now for the big organization called Sneha Group with 5,000 employees, almost 3,500 crore turnover, and they have set up their own outlets of more than 100. I think now quickly first, what is the format is, we will just go with a small presentation he has shared. So then we will come to.
Hi everyone. First of all, thank you, sir, for the opportunity to interact with all our industry mates. Generally, we don't do such interactions much.
Yeah.
We prefer to keep whatever we are doing. Okay, whenever we are personally talking, we do that, but over the web with hundreds of people, we never did it before. So first, thank you for this new opportunity. And my name is Varun. I'm the CEO of Sneha Group, but I like to be known as my father's son, Mr. Ram Reddy's son. It's he who has done whatever we are today. So our chairman, he's still in the company, and all the growth that we are seeing right now is because of his vision and his hard work. Me, along with my whole team that's here, we're working with his ideas. So that's the introduction that I'd like to give about myself. And Sneha Group, so we've started off in 1981-82. And we are one of the few companies, the larger companies, who started off with the retail side of the business. That is a very important thing for us because we understand the consumer much better because we are directly interacting with them. So in 1981-82, we started off with a retail outlet and then later moved on towards farming. And today we are a completely integrated poultry company with operations ranging from broiler breeding farms, hatcheries, commercial broiler farms, commercial layer farms, feed mills, processing, distribution of our own live broilers. We have our own franchisee network of 2,500 outlets. We have our own company operated outlets, which are about 100. We plan to bring that number to about 500 in the next 3 years. And we are into the distribution of frozen products and chilled products as well. So that's the whole activity range that we are into. Along with that, we also have some interest in elevators. That's a new company that we've got into, just a part of an idea to diversify from not being just a poultry company. So that's a very small part of our business, but yeah, we intend to grow that as well.
Tell about what is your opinion about prospects of broiler farming in India?
Sure, sir. So generally, the Indian broiler industry has actually been a great success story, we can say, in the whole farming, agriculture-related businesses in India. We have constantly been seeing a lot of growth in this business. One thing is that the industry is very volatile. We have to sustain through those periods. Being very volatile is again a boon for whoever is established in the business and whoever is doing clean business and with a lot of discipline. There are a lot of opportunities that are coming up, and especially in a country like India where per capita consumption is about 4 kilos per capita, and where the recommended thing is almost about 12 to 14 kilos. I think there's a huge gap to be filled, and that's why broiler farming in India is going to definitely become a big business, and we are still very small according to us.
How do you feel processing and retail is the future for large players?
So processing and retail, we can split this into two parts, sir. When we talk about processing, it's either chilled or frozen. It's still a very small part of the whole pie. It's only about 4%, 4 to 5% is what the estimates are. With such a small number, definitely there will be growth. And luckily for us, there's a lot of interest. There are small brands popping up and developing interest in that space with a lot of private equity money. And generally, to educate the consumer, it's a very expensive process, and these companies are doing it. So definitely, the industry will benefit from such activities that's going on right now. And later on, all the industry players will definitely be a part of that thing. And right now, even we are working on models where we have our own chilled chicken stores, and we already have our own Sneha Select app where we deliver fresh chicken to the consumer. But in this space, when we go into chilled chicken retailing and all those, it's very important that we sell other meats as well in the store, just to make it more viable for us to maintain the store. Definitely, these products will be much expensive, more expensive than the regular fresh chicken, because there's a lot of cost that's adding up to maintain temperatures, and there's a lot of wastage because of shelf life issues and all. So it's still a very small part, and you need to have a smaller plant and have experience that before getting into something bigger. And when we talk about retailing, we should not forget about the fresh chicken retailing. I think that is the bigger pie, and even for the next decade, that's going to be there, and it's also growing. Though there's a lot of noise because of these advertising and all those in this space, but fresh chicken retailing is something we believe that is going to be there for some more time until government comes and says you have to ban chicken slaughter in the city. That's when things are going to change, and we don't see that happening anytime. And it's a choice, it's a consumer choice whether he wants this or that. That's what that's what my personal feeling is, and that's what we're working towards. But we will be ready as an industry to actually shift to processed chicken completely also when time comes. But educating the consumer and shifting them from what they like is an expensive process, and a lot of companies have failed doing that.
Very good observation, Varun. Now, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is your take on this, marinated, ready-to-cook range during this Corona? Was it picked up? People could offtake was more.
Yes. So during the lockdown, especially when the stores were being asked to shut down, and they were operational only for a few hours, and there's a restriction of movement and all those. So we've taken an initiative of delivering chilled chicken to gated communities, the larger ones. We've reached out to almost about 100 gated communities during that time. Our employees have done a great job in doing that because there were restrictions in place. But a lot of ready-to-cook companies with further processing products have benefited during that time. Once the consumer tastes your product, I think it depends on the taste and quality of the product. But just to get them to that space to pick that product is very important, and the lockdown and all these last 6 months has helped doing that.
I really appreciate your social media initiatives. You're very creative.
No, sir. So we've been very active on social media for the past 3 years. I think 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Generally, our approach towards this is if we see whatever happens in the industry, it's only because of rumors. And chicken as a product and egg as a product are very pure form of protein. I don't know why there are a lot of NGOs and there's a lot of anti-advertising that's going on. They have vested interests, but okay, that's a part of our game. So that's why we thought, okay, there has to be some communication going to the consumer, and I can't just keep saying that please eat protein, it's good for you. Then no one will look at it. So we had to be a little creative. And even in the next 2 weeks, we are going to come up with our new ad campaign with a brand ambassador, Telugu actor. So that's also going to make, we've already seen a few rushes, and that's going to make some news soon. I will show it to all our industry guys also. We are very excited. We have to communicate that as well.
So we wish that you take up Bahubali also. No?
No, that he's too expensive.
That is too expensive. No, we wish, that's what.
Now, what is the message you want to give for the youth about egg and protein?
For the youth, on the consumption side or the production side?
Consumption side. Production, the people are there.
No, So actually, from many years, we've been saying the same thing. Protein is important. You need to eat. It builds your immunity. That was our communication from day one. From when I entered the industry, at least it's been almost 8 years, and uh, this has been the communication. Okay, yeah, some people have been listening, and a lot of people like the meat, they eat it. But during the last 6 months, I think everything changed. Now it's more about what government said and what the doctors are saying, and they've definitely recommended chicken and eggs as the first option to build your immunity. And right now, industry doesn't need to scream out loud. It has to just portray that what we are doing uh, is a good practice. Don't listen to all that negative publicity that's going on through other vested interest parties. The industry as such is a very safe place with lakhs of farmers dependent on it. So there's no chance of doing something hanky panky. That's my feeling. And and for the youth, they have to eat chicken and eggs. I think that's the best form of protein and most affordable form of protein when we compare to any other meat. Now, yeah, nowadays chicken has become a little expensive compared to what it was before, but still we are very cheap compared to lamb or fish. Availability of fish is very less, but yeah, lamb is our competitor.
Good. So what is your secret of your fitness and how many eggs you eat and what's your routine?
No, sir. I eat a lot of chicken. I eat almost 4 to 5 kgs of chicken every week,
Oh,
and 10 to 12 eggs a week, I think. And I work out 5 days a week. So there's not no secret. Everyone has to do that. I'm
so
not saying this
you're,
because I'm in the industry, but because I like chicken.
you are the real ambassador for our sector there.
Yes, yes. My dad is not able to afford me. Otherwise, I would have been the brand ambassador.
So he cannot afford you. That's right. So what is your opinion about large scale feed mills? Would you feel that the feed mills are efficient? That efficiency, what is the quality? And how do you feel that broilers, if we can throw some light on broiler integration?
Yes, sir. Large scale feed mills are very important, but they need to be used at an optimum level. Otherwise, they'll become a white elephant to any company. Uh, but yes, nowadays you can make feed mills from 3 4 crores to 30 crores, 10 ton per hour or 20 ton per hour capacity. It all depends. If you're buying an Indian equipment, you get it for 5 to 10 crores. If you go European, it'll be 3 times the price. But yeah, quality also varies according to the equipment. And generally now the broilers have moved to pellet and pellet feed. And so it's very important for us to maintain the PDIs and the uniform mixing of the feed, because there are few ingredients which are very small part of our diet, but they have to reach to most of the birds that we are feeding. So that's where the mixers come into picture. Uh, Everyone says ours is the best quality, but yeah, you need to identify that. And definitely the cost of production also, if we use it at an optimized level of operations, then large feed mills will be more viable. Uh, you can reduce your cost of production per ton by at least 30%. So that's our understanding. We work with both. We have our old lines. When we compare, there's definite advantage with the European or these lines. So yeah, but you need to have that size of a business to get into that. If you get into it without having that size, then it's going to be very expensive.
Can you throw some light on broiler farmer and broiler farming business? So how you can visualize future in India? How much will be integration? How much? What is your recommendation on own farming?
So basically, broiler farming as such is very volatile. So that's why we see even throughout the world, we've seen a lot of movement from own farming to the contract farming. The bigger companies take them under them. So that has been happening. But in India, if you see, now also there are a lot of integrators. If you take Telangana alone, from 30 integrators, now there are about 75 small integrators. That's what is happening. And with chick prices varying, today chick price here is about 54 rupees. At that cost, for an own farmer, it will be tough. and at the same time they're competing with an integrated company whose chip cost will be about 20 to 25. Uh, so definitely, again, now whoever is placing notes have to get about 100 plus to make good margins. So that is a problem for the one farming, and feed cost also is definitely higher for them because they buy from feed sales, commercial feed selling companies who again have their own margin of 1 2 rupees. So again, that's a cost that is there. Slowly, there's a shift happening, and maybe in the next decade, we'll see more integration picking up and lesser on farmers. That's only because of the volatility in the industry.
What's your opinion if someone want to have a small shop and his own farm? Suppose he can sell his own chicken, maybe with small branding, because today we are having youth who can really create a small niche market, niche brand, and his own farms. What's your opinion?
So generally, farming is the easiest thing to do. You can take any farm on rent and start. But if you see the whole industry right now, there are very few companies who get into retailing because it's a lot of headache, and each store sells very few goods. So you need to have a chain of stores. Uh, so that is a problem, and it's a problem that needs to be addressed by the industry. Every producer needs to have at least 20% of their produce going through their own channel. That's when you will have that lesser dependency on traders. That is something the industry has to take a call, as it's more of an investment. It's more like your risk mitigation strategy that you're going to do. Once you have 20 to 30% of your produce going through your own channel, traders also will stop demanding you more. You will have more control over your produce. That's my choice. 100% no one can do it because it's a very tough job to get into retail.
So what's your future strategies, Varun? Now I feel lot of education startups have come like Baiju, Vedantu. You can see hundreds, and Baiju has gone to IPL as a branding. So can you create a co-creation with them? Can you see future of education tied up with protein company, and maybe Sneha can think on that. So you can really tag education and our poultry sector. So if we have a dream, I have a dream that tomorrow you go with the Baiju or An Academy or Vedantu as a co-brand to IPL. That is my dream. What's your take on that?
So the valuations will change, sir. Again, we have to. We are more a conventional business. We
But
are
you
not.
yeah. Go ahead.
We are a more conventional business. Generally, as an industry, we are more conventional. I think we should look at long term. These things, definitely there has to be more education about protein, which the government can do. It has to be included in the syllabus of the students. Then, because as an industry, if we advertise, we've seen that before. How much ever we scream out that protein is important, consumer says that they're just taking it for their benefit. That's the feeling, and it's obvious. Even some other industry says that even we'll think the same. It's government and doctors and the health fraternity that said it this time, and that's what matters. And definitely in 2 3 years there'll be some other issue which will say don't eat chicken. There will be that slump for 2 3 months. Again, people will realize, and then industry will bounce back. That's a cycle that's going on. But for that to change, right from primary education, the importance of protein has to be included in the syllabus. That industry won't be able to do it ever. The government will have to do it. And already those representations to the government which are happening. And even governments, Niti Aayog and all these bodies are actually assessing what is the deficiency of protein and all those things. So I think we are on the right track as an industry, and even the government is very pro industry right now. So I think things will change much quickly in the next few years.
Yeah, it's a reality now. You can see Government of India Institute is tying up with the Entrepreneurs Day, and that is a show that we are trying to reach each other. And we have gone with tweets also recently on Egg Day, and then even World Food Day. Government of India released a lot of tweets. And I have one small suggestion to conclude, Varun. Now virtual reality and VR machines are available, AI equipments are available. Can corporate world can create such good videos so that children education today is more on games, more on realities. So I had one in my presentation If you look at the first day, we showed one virtual reality equipment, maybe 50,000, 1 lakh. If we can contribute to the schools, Sneha can take up that. So children can feel like going into the broiler farm, going into layer farm, feel of 3D touch. So that probably a good initiation so that children should understand the farming first. So once the children understand the farming, then they know what we are eating. So I think my suggestion will be on that line. Thank you so much, Varun, for your time. And I'm sorry for small interruptions in between. All the best to Sneha Group. And we would wish that you become soon a billionaire unicorn company in India for valuation, whatever you said. Let us wish that we'll take up, convey my wishes to Dad and your 5,000 team members. Huh?
Thank you. Thank you so much,
very
sir. Thank you for the
Thank you very
opportunity.
much. Thank you for the time.